Oh, thank you all for expressing your love. Discovered that at the bottom of your Zoom window, you have the capability to give a reaction. And that's very nice. And also someone's discovered that they can raise their hand. That's another little trick to this. We have, if you go to your Zoom window, you'll see this reactions option, and one is to raise the hand. If you raise your hand, we can promote you so that so you can be on video, but it is being recorded. So if you don't want to be on the recording, you probably want to just ask your questions in the chat. And that is also found at the bottom of your Zoom window. We already have a couple people asking questions about that, and we have people kind of saying hello from all the areas they're calling in. So I think we're ready to start. This is the mentoring session for cosmic forces shaping or for how's this? What exactly is the name of this? It's for a whole new future. Yes, and Suzanne Giesemann is our wonderful mentor, and she is you all know who she is because you've been watching her wonderful videos, but she is a multidimensional medium, spiritual teacher, and author. And I will, let's just open it up for questions and conversation. If you have anything to say, Suzanne, say.
I do. Hello, everybody. I've been looking forward to this. I love that you're all in different places all around the globe, and we get to join here thanks to modern technology. My guide said about a dozen years ago we would be using technology to spread to raise consciousness around the world, and it's just amazing how we're able to do that. So I look forward to answering any questions that you have about the course, specifically things that you're learning in the course, and whatever you want to know. I want to tell you right off the bat, I sat here beforehand and I connected with my team of guides in spirit, who we call Sanaya, and I always defer to them during question and answer. I catch myself when I first start answering as if I know the answer, and then I just connect, and I share that with you now as a way of modeling exactly what the lessons in this course are teaching you to do, to always go higher for higher guidance. So I'm ready, Adam.
Great. Well, we have one hand. We have a number of hands turned up. How about Bill Schmidt, if you'd like to come on video, or actually you can go ahead and just ask your question if you'll unmute yourself. There you go.
There we are.
Go. Yay. Okay.
So I've been using the Bless Me method daily since last May in order to connect with my wife who died a year ago this month. And I've been unsuccessful. My vibrations just don't expand. And I don't want to go through all my questions and your answers now because that would take too long. What I do want to do is thank you very much for confirming for me that life goes on the other side. I've long believed that consciousness continues, but you've put definition and specificity to it. And while I haven't contacted with my wife through the Bless Me method, I have had other signs from her which are very meaningful. And I'm very appreciative of those. I do hope that your module 4 description of the Bless Me method will be helpful. That's the most detailed description that I've read. I've taken one of your shift courses. I've seen your online videos, including the monthly connection for several months now. I've read 5 of your books. I'm taking you seriously. Immerse yourself in the subject.
That is right. That's right.
Right. And
so Bill, let me just address, you've been doing it for 3 months and say you're unsuccessful, but I guarantee you doing that practice regularly is opening your intuitive abilities in ways that you may not be aware of yet. So you have high expectations and you have one singular goal. Let's change that for everybody now. I would like to hear from this specific loved one or something even better. Add that on there and you will eventually hear from your wife, but you will also, all of you, attune to something that you didn't even expect because you're not so focused on one singular goal. What all of you are doing in using the Bless Me method is exactly what this course title is about, tapping into cosmic forces for a better future. So if we just focus on that one singular goal, which is an amazing one, and it's what led you to this place, and add on or something even better, you may surprise yourself.
Okay, that's helpful. Uh, let me just share the sign that she has given me, and it's an ongoing repetitive sign. She holds my wrist in hand,
Nice.
always my left hand, and it's happening several times a week now. When I do my morning Tai Chi exercises, she holds my hand
Wow.
hard, very firmly. And that's kind of nice. When I'm thinking about
Yeah.
her, sometimes
Yeah.
it's there. So,
What a blessing. That is beautiful. And that will continue and even more. So I'm grateful you're on this journey with us.
okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. We have Prasanjit, if you'd like to.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Prasenjit Rao here. It is amazing to see you. Basically, when I
think we might be having some problems with that connection. So
Definitely having some audio problems.
yeah, so let's move on to.
Wait,
Was it
let's
Chuck?
ask Prasanjit to type your question.
So when I promoted him, we lost him. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe he can type his question in because I hate to just lose that connection. Okay, we'll be looking for that and Adam can ask it for you, Prasanjit.
Yeah, that's great. There is a question from Alice. I often struggle with headaches and find this makes meditation difficult. It's hard to relax and receive impressions when I'm in pain. Did you struggle with any challenges when you first started meditation? If so, what did you do to address those challenges?
I do not recall any physical challenges that were ongoing like headaches. I do know, and the guides are affirming, that as you learn to move your focus away from the pain through the process of meditation, they may actually lessen, or you may receive guidance as to the cause of the headaches. So be patient with yourself, have compassion for yourself, and perhaps lessen the time at the beginning that you're spending in meditation. If it's painful, it shouldn't be painful at all, but focus on the full body, focus on what is arising in awareness, and you'll find that as the focus goes off of the pain lessens.
Thank you, Suzanne. We have Peg, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
And unmute your cameras, everybody. When you come in, click both the microphone and the video camera. Get the red line out of there, and we'll see.
So they won't be able to do that unless I promote them to panelists. So we probably should check with people and make sure they want to be seen as well as heard, and then I will make the transition.
You can make me present if you wish.
Okay, here we go.
All right, that works.
Okay.
There's Peg. So Peg, now just unmute yourself again.
Uh,
Yay.
did that work?
Yeah, it did. Here you are.
All righty. Oh my God, I love you so much. I cannot tell you. Thank you so much for asking. Anyway, everything. So my question is kind of twofold. One is, when I'm particularly using your Bless Me method, I expand and I go everywhere everywhere.
Yay.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's the question. What I'm receiving is not information or any communication from that that I hear. As an example, what happened a couple days ago was I went into meditation and I went up and up and up and up so far, and my body wasn't a body. It was just energy, and it was this beautiful sapphire color, right? And I'm in there, and I'm attempting to connect with what I consider a soul sister who passed away several years ago. Well, she came in energy, and she was this vibrant pink color, and we merged, and it was wonderful. And then my parents came, and they were individual colors. My birth parents came, they were individual colors, and Kathy's dad even came. And we all just, and I sobbed the whole time. Now, okay, so that was so awesome. But nobody talked. It was pure energy. It was
I can't
pure
help it. I can't help
love.
but laugh from a loving place. My heart is so open, just connecting with your beautiful soul here. But look at the difference between human expectations and desires, or something so much greater. That was that phrase I gave earlier. You had this experience of yourself at the higher levels. We are all light beings. You're wanting to pull us back down into our human roles and talk and understand them in this way. You have been given a gift to experience. This is how I know my soul family for all eternity. So you just expanded so far that you were able to have that awesome experience. So I would just go with the flow, go with what presents itself, and put it out there to the universe. Okay, I'm willing to set my limited expectations aside. I would eventually like to be able to have a conversation, but I am open to whatever you present me, because that experience of pure love and merging and flow, what a blessing that is. Yeah.
Yes, it was incredible. I'm still high from it. And so the second part to that question.
Wait, hang on a second, Peg, because I can just feel everybody else now saying, well, I want that. Why am I only hearing this, or why am I only getting this little sign? You see, we limit ourselves with our desires. So this is just a huge part of this journey, to surrender your human desires and ask that the greatest good be served. And I would love to hear from my loved one. I would love to have a conversation, and whatever else is in the greatest good. See?
Right. I am not trying to express to you that I was disappointed, because
Oh, no, I don't get that sense.
I was not at all.
No. Yeah.
But my second part of the question is, I thought that when we left the physical body, that we then took on another body, or our body at a younger age or whatever, from everything you've said, what I've read, blah, blah, blah. And so I was a little bit confused as to why they didn't show up like in person, and why we were all light beings. And then the second part to that would be, I'm hearing information that I'm attempting to not doubt. Okay. For example, this morning, a friend reached out to me saying that somebody was transitioning and to offer prayers or whatever. And it was like, I knew that her soul had already left, even though her body's still doing the body thing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm in the shower, and it's like, well, her soul's already left. She is not feeling any pain. I could hear this in my head. Was that accurate, or am I just wishful thinking here?
Okay, so you have the perfect opportunity to test this now.
Okay.
In that, you can reach out to your friend who let you know the person was transitioning, and just say, are they communicating with you? Are they at all lucid? And if so, then they're still in the body. But if they're unconscious, they could absolutely be out, right?
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
that
much
little
gratitude.
validation is great. Let me just go back to the point for everybody's sake here about thinking that they should take on a form. Absolutely, souls will appear at their ideal age and preferred physique if they want to, if it serves the greater good. So understand, across the veil, we have such freedom of creation. We have that here, but it's instantaneous across the veil. So in one instant, you can appear 35 years old in perfect form, or instantly morph back into this beautiful flowing being of light. And then, oh, there's my loved one sitting with a medium. I'd better show up in a form in which they'll recognize me. So you show up as 87 years old in a hospice bed. It's just a constant flow.
Awesome. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're welcome.
Much
You're
love
welcome.
to you.
All right.
Oh, I love that enthusiasm. We have a question from Aristella. She or he typed it into the chat, but also has the hand up. So I'm going to let her or him talk. And are you out there, Aristella?
Yes, I'm here, and I wouldn't mind to be in camera.
Okay, Gareth, you promote her.
Great.
Okay, I'm
It's
here. I don't
Aristella.
know.
Aristella.
Yes.
Okay.
Aristella.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now just click your camera at the bottom
And your microphone.
and your microphone. Yay.
Camera.
There we go.
Okay. Hello, I'm a Venezuelan new student, and I'm actually right now in Spain. So right now it is very late here. It's 6 p.m. So it's early for you, but even
Mucho gusto, pues
evening for me.
bienvenido a la clase.
Gracias. I'm so happy because you see, I entered your workshop because you came, and this other lady came. I said, "What are these wonderful, beautiful ladies?" And I heard your comment, and I just enrolled. But since I've been traveling, I haven't really done any module. But today I did the first module. So I don't know if somebody has asked this before, but my question comes from a very it's not that I'm scared or anything. It's just that somebody came to me once in a meeting, and this human being, this entity full of light, I was in a gathering, and he came directly to me, and he said to me that I had a very nice energy, and I shouldn't involve myself into things that had to do with spirits. So I got so scared of really dealing with spirits, and here I am, getting ready to dive in. But my question is, and because I'm a master shaman, I know how to deal with spirits that are in turmoil. And I have learned in my shamanic practices how to help them, release this person and send them to the light. And sometimes it's difficult if they are in turmoil or if they are not of the higher energy. My question is this dangerous in any way if you are open to spirit world and an entity that is not a blessed, he's a blessing energy because it's coming from the same light, but in his
I
life
understand
he
your
didn't do
question.
well.
I
Thank you.
understand completely, and it's a very good question, and it allows us to address the fact that we have flexibility of perspective. From the human perspective, we might feel it's dangerous because we feel we can be hurt or harmed. All we need to do is shift our perspective to that of the soul, which is always whole and complete and cannot be harmed. So when we get into a place of fear, right away, that's an indication you're in human mode, human perspective. All you need to do is shift your awareness. I am the spark of the divine, a spark of the light of consciousness. Own that power and pull it down into the human awareness. And there's no death, there's nothing to be afraid of. And anything that raises fear in me is an opportunity to clear that fear out by bringing in more light. So if we have fear, there's just some belief system within our human role that says there's something here to be afraid of. Who wants to be around lower vibration negative feelings,
Nobody.
right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
just pull in the light, and if you feel anything that feels at all worrisome, we just state firmly, I am the light. Anything that is of a lower vibration must completely clear my energy field.
Oh,
And that's it.
that seems like a very easy to do method.
It
And I
is.
hope I don't have to do it ever, because I'll just address it directly from the light. And
That's it.
in case.
You
Oh no,
got it.
thank you very much.
You're
Good,
welcome.
good method. All right.
Okay, great.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for that. We have a question from Karen Pratt. So I was able to clearly communicate with my guides for over a year, and then they, quote unquote, left. Why does this happen? Why do guides fall back away for a time?
My guides, they just twitched my lip. You didn't see it, but that's a trust me sign that I get. I can't show it to you. It just happens. And they said, do not always assume what the cause is. That from in any time, choose the perspective. Did the guides pull back, or for some reason, is it being blocked at this level from your thoughts? I'm not saying that's the case. They're just saying that there are unique cases all the time. So my guides are saying they would not pull back completely. So they're also showing me shift the method that you're using to connect, very much being guided to examine your beliefs and what has been going on in your external life. What changed in your life when that apparent pulling back happened? So sit quietly just for a few minutes and ask to be guided. What needs to shift here that I can hear from you again? I'm open to any guidance that will further my path. And then just be without any expectations and wait for an answer. When you get one, where's that coming from? It may be that you've shifted to a new level of relating to your guides. It may not be the same as it used to be, but trust me on this, none of us is ever alone. If the awareness of the presence has changed, go into the silence and ask why.
We have a question from Kim, who's I'm going to bring on to audio. Kim, if you're okay with video, please let us know.
Yes, I'd love video. Thank you.
It's a great picture, meanwhile.
So go ahead. There you are.
Got it. Thank you.
Hey.
It's so nice to be with you. I'm so honored to, I prayed for this method, the Bless Me method. It made so much sense. It encapsulated years of study. Each step was like years of study.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so when you put it together so beautifully and linearly, it was just like really clear to me what I was doing at each step. So I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I would just like to remind everybody, it is a beautiful process, but there are other ways that will work, and there are briefer methods, but it really is a nice linear process when you need to go from that human mode to the more expanded soul state. So I'm glad it's working well for you.
Yeah, it's really cool. So my question is about the expand space. I do soul retrieval for childhood trauma, and I'm very much deep within the body with my clients every day. And I'm finding that I can breathe, can go into that space. I'm connecting with the light, the pillar of light. It feels like a vertical line.
Yes.
And then when I go to expand, I'm tapping into the years that I spent opening my Merkaba, like that
Yes.
expansion.
Yeah. Very much like that.
That's what we're doing. Okay. But I kind of have a problem because I'm so tethered. I'm like really committed to being embodied. And I love the idea of like saying, hey, come to me, and then merging it into my consciousness. It feels like a much more embodied way of connecting with my guides or source. But like I think it was Pat was saying earlier, I'm not going all out of body. And I think part of my issue is in the expansion or the really surrendering and opening my field because I've been working so hard and creating a nice sovereign field for so long that I am a little tentative about expanding out. So I wonder.
Let's just go back to really what the intention of that expand state is, to remember and remind yourself at this human level, you are at all times one with all that is. So you don't necessarily have to go out and become all that is. It's just taking you from this awareness of here's my field, and yet I can expand it out there. I just did that. And it's a paradox in that now we hold awareness of being one with all that is, yet I'm talking to you, so I must be embodied. So it's an integration of awareness. And at any time, now that it's expanded, if I want to shift outside my body, then I just took a little trip just like that, but I'm still talking to you, so I'm still in the body. So it's just to get more into a flow state instead of continuing to see yourself as only a mind, body, spirit.
Okay. So a follow-up on that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The other place where my mental body comes in is when I get confused about like, who am I talking to? And I don't have that kind of spiritual sense. I don't know the who's of the connection. And so in that second S, when I am inviting source, I almost don't know, do I need to know who?
I was just going to ask a question without wanting to sound like a smart aleck. Why does it matter?
Right. Does it? Well, I kind of going with the making sure I'm connecting with the highest frequency of being.
Yes.
That's
If
why
that is your intention and it's coming from the heart and you've lifted and expanded, then just notice what happens. Is it helpful and healing? You can ask, who is this? But the thing is, if you don't sense, as long as it's helpful and healing and your intention was the highest being who has the answer or whatever experience you need right now, then just send gratitude to them. It's all source and expression as you are.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yay. Thanks for coming on. Love the colors there.
Mhm. Thank you, Suzanne. Karen S. asks a question in the chat. I wish to ask a question that my spirit guides requested I ask of Suzanne. What is the best way to ask a question of guides when looking for clarity and making choices? I have wonderful connection and auto writing responses, but they keep indicating a change in my wellness business approach, yet not specific as to what is to change. Thank you.
So in that, I heard, what is the best way to ask a question of my guides? My guides say there is no best way as long as it comes from the heart. If I were to tell you the best way is to go into deep meditation, you might eschew. There, I know this is them talking because I don't use words like eschew. You might eschew the other methods, such as a 3-minute sip of the divine, which is part of the master class you're taking now with me. Or how about just this? I'm driving down the road and I say, hey guys, what's the best step for me right now? You see, as long as you have awareness that you're never alone, that your guides are right here, you can ask on the fly, you can ask in deep meditation. It's all about asking from the heart with the direct intention of connecting with them directly and knowing that they hear you. So the best method is always to combine intention with a heart-directed question.
Thank you. There's a number of questions in the chat about the Bless Me practice. And I don't know to what degree you want to go into that, but I know they'll get in the module if they go further. But if you want to address that a little bit.
Well, it's too general not to hear a specific question about it. So if any of them seem, if you can field them, Adam,
Okay.
I'm welcome to answer any, because that is a pivotal foundational part of connecting.
I'll look for those. We have something like 35 questions and there's 6 people with their hands up. So let's go to Jenna. Jenna, I'm allowing you to open your mic now. If you want to be seen, just tell us that video.
Yeah, I'm fine with being seen.
Thank you, Garth. It's up to you.
I see in the chat box, some of us only have access to the first 2 modules, so they're being unlocked for you sequentially, depending on how you signed up. So you will get there. Don't worry about it. And whatever you hear today, hopefully that will help you when you do get to that module.
Welcome, Jenna.
I guess I'm here now, right?
Hi, Jenna.
You're here.
I'm so happy to be talking with you. Now I'm a little, to be honest, I'm very new to you. I just came during this, and my husband is being interned at Arlington National Cemetery in 2 weeks
Oh, my.
with full military honors. And I was the other day, friends have been telling me, ask for a sign, ask for a sign. And I was like, I don't know how to ask for a sign. I don't feel like anything was happening. And I listened to your module about receiving signs, and I did that, and I got a rose. And I was like, oh, okay, a rose. And so it was a day later, I was thinking about, oh, I haven't seen a rose or anything yet. And I also care for my 93-year-old mother. And I was over taking care of her in her room. And I saw years ago, I had crocheted a realistic rose for her in a vase and everything. And I saw that. And I was like, oh, well, I see that rose all the time. So I came to my room and I did a meditation. And when I was coming out, I was walking past his urn and his picture. And I looked at it and I said, you know, that rose didn't count. I said, because I see that rose all the time. So I was thinking that rose didn't count. And I was surprised that a thought automatically came in that was like, why not?
I love that you noticed that thought. That's so important to notice that you didn't have that thought. It arose. Yeah.
And then I walked immediately past, and I came to my computer, and I opened up my computer, and I opened up my email, and somebody had sent me a haiku poem, and the last line of the haiku was, in the shadow.
Huh. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, am I
See? It works, and your husband's trying, and I don't think you caught the play of words that I gave there, but you said, you know, it just arose in your mind. It's like a little words there, but I love that you're playing the sign game and that he's playing along with you. I also want you to know he will be present at that funeral, okay? At that interment. He will be standing beside you watching. He's so proud of his military days. He's one of those people that I know he would have gone back and looked at mementos and things of those days. Very, very happy memories of his military time. I can just feel it right now. Some people kind of put it aside, but that was something he always carried with him.
Yes, we're real happy to honor him like that. And at first I wasn't sure. And then for a while after he died, I almost felt like, I don't know, he didn't. I wondered if
I get a great big thumbs up. You made the right choice.
And one last question. I noticed, surprise, are you ever going to be over at the Monroe Institute again?
Well, I was just there 2 weeks ago. I don't have plans to go back.
I missed it.
Darn.
I live real close to it, so.
Okay. You never know. It's lovely to talk with you.
Thank you.
We have a question in chat from Linda. Do medications, antidepressants, etc., interfere with our higher vibration or connection to spirit guides?
Absolutely, if you believe they do. They may, but you don't know until you try. And I say this because one of my great friends and originally my mentor and then my colleague, Mavis Patilla, who just crossed to the other side, was on multiple medications, 10 milligrams of morphine a day, and still doing amazing mediumship work. So just have a baseline, know how you feel normally, and try to raise your vibration above whatever you're on. There may be an adjustment period, and you can adjust to, if you have to be on these meds for a long time, adjust to that and raise your vibration above that and do the best you can. I know that I recently was on some temporary medications for a temporary visitor illness in my body, and I had to call off my readings for a week. But once I cleared that from my system, we were back in back in battery, as we say. But again, if you have to be on these medications for a long time, there are so many tools, many of those shared in the modules, that you can use to raise your vibration beyond that steady state.
Thank you for that. We have a Desiree, a friend to humanities team, one of our contributors. Would you like to ask a question, Desiree?
Love to. Yes, it's
Do you
great to
want
be
to be
here.
on the video as well?
Sure, that's great.
This is working well. I love seeing everybody. I love connecting. It just raises, oh, instant connection. There
Sorry
you
about
are,
that.
Desiree. Go ahead.
Hi, and hi, Adam. It's nice to see
Hi.
your face and kind of in person again. Suzanne, I'm delighted to meet you. And as a little recap, I've been lucky enough to be studying and exploring this area and doing some myself, and have had some extraordinary interactions with spirit. And my question to you actually kind of got answered by Linda's question. This past summer, I had a medical event and brain surgery, and
Oh my.
and there's two parts to this story. I was in the hospital for a month, and since then it's been a slow comeback to feeling like I was on with any messages or connection. The other day, though, I did finally sit down and meditate, and finally felt like I, not necessarily spirit, but guide information, and had some stuff. So I think with your answer to Linda, that kind of coincides, that I felt like maybe I was just too tied to the physical, trauma. But I also want to share with you why because of this part of this, one of the surgeries, there was an accident and I lost vision in this eye, and it's permanent. But the most weird, extraordinary event, when I came out of the surgery, and of course I was still on drugs, and I don't think it was the drugs though, I saw just like people,
Oh, nice.
people walking around in the hospital room that I knew weren't there.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then one little girl named Marjorie, and she was the only one that had color on. And she was hanging around for a couple days, and she was like from the, I would say 50s, the dress, the hair. And finally I said, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm crazy, but I said to her, hey, Marjorie, you don't have to stay here. And I was in ICU, and I'm thinking, how old is this building and where are these people from?
Oh,
And I
yeah.
said, you don't have to stay here. And I kind of looked around the room, and I'm like, and I see an area that felt like light to me. I said, it's much more fun if you just go toward the light. If you go in the light, it's a lot better for you. And so it's like she floated up there, and then I just saw this little hand wave goodbye, and she never came back. So like all this was like overwhelming at first. And I thought, oh, I'd love to invite all of this in like that when I went to, but after a few days and after changing rooms, it went away. And like, so I'm just, wondering, like Linda did, this physical trauma, that like opened a bunch of stuff up suddenly, but then it also, after a while, it just seemed to shut everything down.
Right. I can absolutely address that the brain is a filter of consciousness. It's programmed for us to have the ideal and what we call the normal human experience here. But what you experienced was because you had some changes within that frequency analyzer, that's what I call the brain, the frequencies that you were able to attune to that are always here were suddenly available to you. And then over time, you shifted back to a more normal state. It's really interesting when you read the literature. In many cases, people who have psychic abilities or can work as a medium had some kind of head trauma at some point in their life. I was surprised by that until I remembered I fell on my head at 7 weeks old and had to go to the hospital and have all kinds of tests done. So that was mine that may have had to happen for me to open up this ability as part of my calling. But you really just had a little bit of a different rewiring, But who's to say what's normal, right? It's how the brain is normally designed. But there are some people who see other frequencies that are here, and that's their norm, and we call them schizophrenic,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So it's probably just as well that you revert it a little, but now you can expand your state of consciousness at will through meditative practices, and at least have that knowing, that confidence that even if you're never again able to see them with the clarity that you did, they're here.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was, I'm just waiting for everything to, to get right back in line and maybe better. So thank
Great.
you. And it's nice to meet you.
Same here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Nice to see you, Desiree.
Yeah.
Sajid, would you like to talk?
Yes, can I go on camera, please?
Absolutely.
What a beautiful smile, huh? Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hello, Suzanne. I'm new to your work, and I just want to say that I'm loving it. And the way you have explained everything, it helped me a lot because I come from a very Catholic background. So I kind of have this belief that you have to go like in a trance, or you have to have pain, emotional pain or
Oh,
physical
no.
pain to access. But the way you explain it, it's really helping my mind to like relax into that.
Good.
Something that is happening to me is that when I go to high frequencies, sometimes I can feel I'm very somatic. I feel things in my body a lot, and I feel like this rhythm, and sometimes my voice changes a little bit and goes with the rhythm, but I cannot stay there. I feel like it's not uncomfortable. I mean, it is in a way, but it's not painful, but it's like somebody's tickling me, and I just wanna go and say, okay, stop, or I don't wanna get my mind into it, so I cannot stay there for long periods of times. Do you have any tip or something?
I'm a bit confused. Do you want to stay there? Because you said it's like tickling.
Yeah, I want to stay because the information is really good, and I feel like a lot of limitless, or
Well,
like a lot of love.
This feels to me that this is pretty new to you, that kind of experience. So this is just something that you need more experience doing. I'm reminded of when I first started channeling my guides, and the voice was a little bit different. It came out very stilted when I started speaking aloud. In my mind, I had to grasp what was really happening. So even inside me, it was hard to hold that. And literally, your body, your physical body, has to adjust to the higher energy that you're bringing in to do this merging with higher consciousness. So it's like going to the gym. The more you work out, the stronger you'll get, the more you'll be able to do. So just be very grateful, send gratitude for what you're receiving now. Continue to hold that intention that this continue, and at a greater level, as long as it serves the greater good. Watch the ego that gets in there when you start getting cool stuff, because that'll get in the way. And just be grateful, 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 and watch how the fluency of the frequency increases.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have Gary Fur out there, if you're interested in talking. Oh, it says allowing Gary to talk is not possible with an older version of Zoom, but we could promote him to panelist. Since I don't know if you want to be promoted to panelist, we're going to move on. You could put your question in the chat, Gary. I'll try to get to it. And the next in line would be Nikki. Nikki, same thing. She's also in an older version of Zoom. There is a question here from Beva. It says, like a past recent caller, I encounter feeling similar, like my guides are just sitting back watching and allowing me to discover my challenges on my own. I know they are there and I talk often to them, but even in my auto writing, I don't get any specific guidance. I receive some thoughts and images occasionally, but I get frustrated, like I have to figure everything out for myself, even when I keep asking for help to get better answers. How do I raise my vibration even more?
What I'm sensing is breathe in gratitude. For now, stay with the question, what is it I need to know now? There seems to be a very strong focus on challenges. Raise the vibration by breathing in gratitude, breathing in divine love, filling your field with that, and feeling the gratitude. The guides are saying focus on what is working in your life. Watch the focus on there's something wrong with me. Come to know yourself as whole and complete at the soul level. This will lift your overall vibration and oh, wow. I actually heard you're not as broken as you think. So absolutely the focusing on the wholeness, and in that positive light, you will start to hear them more. Yeah, beautiful message.
Thank you for that. Also have a D who asked, my brother passed, and for quite some time I had his company. I then was understanding he was going to be coming back through his little granddaughter. I was wondering if Suzanne could give me her opinion on this. Thank you.
Oh, yes, it's one of the most frequent questions I get. What if my loved one reincarnates before I get to see them across the veil? Please see the soul as something so much bigger than just one role that it plays as your family member or as yourself. The soul can take on multiple incarnations, and yet that role that it played and can continue to play across the veil is always available as needed. Just like we said at the very beginning of this hour, how the soul can take on a form, can morph into being just the light. It's a constant, continuous flow, a dance. You are blinking on and off so fast you don't realize it. Soul, human, like a movie. But if we appear to be solid, but we're just this dancing flow of consciousness as well. So a loved one can reincarnate as somebody here in this lifetime, and yet a medium could still access the life that you know as their previous life. So don't worry about losing them. Everything is that has ever been continues to be that way. Remember, energy can't be destroyed, merely transformed.
This is Nikki, who we couldn't promote to a panelist. I put my question in the chat earlier. Could you please ask it for me? I understand the concept of time is an earthly thing. I've heard Sanaya explain that our incarnations are like CDs stacked on top of each other, and that it's possible to have multiple incarnations happening at the same time. Is it also possible that these incarnations can be occurring not only in the present, but also in Earth's linear past and future at the same time?
Yes, and as you were asking that question, my guides are giving me, in the Navy, we call it a wave off, because they say humans are just in this role as humans, incapable of wrapping our heads around that. But the answer is yes, because all of this is arising from a reality beyond this world of time, where there is no time. And so you can even go back in time in this present incarnation and change your reaction to something, even though within this reality you can't change the past event. You can change your reaction and affect how you deal with things now and in the future. So play with time to the best of our ability here. Wrap your mind around the concept that there is another reality where there is no time, and just be okay with the mystery.
Let's see if we can get Marion to come on to talk. Marion, are you interested in asking your question, and are you okay with the video?
Yes, I am.
Welcome.
Go. Hi, Marion.
Hi. First of all, I want to thank you so much for the purity with which you are doing your work. It has really touched me very deeply, and I resonate so much with all that you're bringing forth. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I do have a question. A few years ago, it was revealed that one of the reasons that I am here in this lifetime was to heal an event that happened with an ancestor. And in order to do this, I agreed to not know what I was doing, which was a good thing because it was really difficult. And all the while this was happening, my desire to cultivate and maintain an active connection with source in a relationship was the most important thing to me, which has remained to this day. And through a series of events, it was shown, I became aware that this assignment was accomplished. So my question is, when this type of thing happens, is there actually a rewriting of the Akashic records through spiritual alchemy?
What I see is layers that you can access the actuality that happened, then you can access the story that has been healed, that all of it still exists. And so, but what you've done is you've changed the focus now, like a spotlight they're showing me, on the healed part. So that other part could still be accessed if it serves good to look at what happened, but there's definitely a changing in the field, a raising of the field through your efforts, if that makes sense.
And does this have an effect upon descendants?
Oh, absolutely. I see this cutoff, like that's cleared now. Karma can be changed in an instant when you no longer give power to the old stuff. And that's what you did. So it's clear. Beautiful. Job well done. I'm reminded of my beautiful assistant and dear friend Lynette, who works with me, and she went to see a psychic, and the psychic was so accurate and was telling her all about these dramas and traumas she'd had in her life. And she said, you know, what I'm seeing is you're done, but you don't have to leave. Now you get to play. Now you can just be love and enjoy yourself. And that's what I feel. I feel that story was shown to me now, because Marion, it's like, not that you're not going to have any more challenges, but the major big role, you did it. Okay, so now just relax and be this beautiful, lovely light that you're shining onto everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A rather long question coming in from Mary. I keep encountering Sekhmet, the Egyptian goddess. This has been going on for 20 years now. My guide, whose head face I see subjectively, has an appearance of a blue line with a diamond in his crown chakra. The mediums at my spiritualist church tell me that I'm an emissary to the earth from a feline ET race. I do not know what to do with this information, but my inner experiences occurred before these communications from the mediums and other outside input. As an example, as a few months ago, I woke up out of a vivid dream in which I went through an initiation process with these lion beings. I had a series of experiences with lion beings having to do with the healing of the earth somehow. Obviously, this has little to do with the course, but I'm full of consternation and I do not know where to go for help with finding out who and what I am.
Oh,
Maybe
this
they
is
are willing to
such a
with
great question for all of you. And the guides are practically shouting at me right now. And it's very much, let me just connect here. It is like those of you who become fascinated with past life regressions, they say. All that matters is, who are you now? Do you know who you are at the deepest levels? And what they're talking about is a direct expression of source, one ray of light of the one light. They would like us all to look at all of these stories, which is what any manifestation of source is. It expresses itself as a story, as something very interesting and fascinating. And perhaps it led to this moment now, but all that matters is, right now, are you being the highest possible expression of the light that you can be? Nothing in the past matters. Nothing in the future matters. All that matters is that may have brought you to this moment, but here you are. How can you be the light right now? How much love can you push out from this beautiful heart you were given in this body, this energetic heart right now? The past is the past. Be present now and embrace the light. Be that, and the rest is quite interesting, but irrelevant.
Oh, thank you. That's so incredibly profound. The stories are very seductive.
Oh yeah, yeah, and including the current one right now. I mean, maybe the current story of you. You know, this is the Suzanne story talking to you right now. The current story of you is so fascinating that you're completely caught up in the drama, let alone all the other things. Maybe the current story is too painful that it's really easy to turn your attention and say, I was this creature and I was this ET, because it keeps you from looking at whatever's blocking you from realizing I am. No story. I just put online a video this week. Find freedom by finding God within. Search that on YouTube, and everybody do that meditation to experience yourself as I am. No story after it. That's what matters.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Suzanne, if you're still there, if you'd like to unmute yourself, you could ask your question. And do you want to be on video?
Yes.
I think somebody, hang on while we're bringing you on video. I think somebody said, please say that again. Go to YouTube, search Suzanne Giesemann, find freedom by finding God within. Something like that. It'll come up. It was just posted this week.
Thank you.
And it was a channeled meditation. So over to the other Suzanne story.
The other one.
Join panelists. Whoops.
Just say yes.
You can unmute yourself and turn on your video.
There you are.
Perfect.
Okay.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi.
I've been studying just about all my life and working all my life on trying to connect. And I don't even know why I do this, but it's just something I can't put down. So in trying to connect on the other side of the veil, or even with my guides, I feel like my heart won't open. And I feel like no matter what I do, meditate, I'm a Tai Chi instructor, and I try to connect through Tai Chi, and I just feel like maybe I'm busted somewhere, you know.
Well,
Broken,
it's
so it doesn't work.
impossible to be broken at the soul level. So just keep that in mind. And again, I'm being drawn back to that video I just mentioned, that meditation. The goal for all of us is to know yourself beyond, before, beneath the story. So there's this aspect of you, the Suzanne story, your Suzanne as well, but all of you, that somehow is like the clouds blocking the clear blue sky. We're looking, this is the reason many people go from one course to another. It's like something's missing. It's not what's missing, it's what's added to what's already here. You already are what you're seeking. You're already whole and complete. So once you learn to take the focus off the body, off thoughts that there's a blocked heart, off thoughts that you're not enough, when you get those thoughts out of the way and just taste for 2 seconds this no story state, you'll say, wait, you mean that's it? But it's so peaceful, so full, even though it's empty. That's what you're looking for. It's right here. So the focus right now is on, I'm not doing something right. I'm not feeling my open heart. Set those thoughts aside and set ideas of what that feels like aside, and just get to know this. I am. I'm hoping you'll have an experience, just a taste of it in doing that meditation I mentioned. If not, just set that goal to know yourself beyond the story. Anything that you search for is going to have content, and pure I am has no content. Okay? It's deep stuff, but we're planting seeds here. So smile, bring in the light that way, and know that all is well despite any human appearances. All right?
And could you tell me again, what is
the name of the video that you just did? Find Freedom by
Find Freedom by, if you go to my YouTube channel, it should be at the top there, but just, I'm trying to bring it up myself. In a second here, I'll have it. Let me see. We'll enter this here. You got to give me a second, because if it doesn't come up after I've guided everybody there, we're in trouble. What happens if we just do?
Alice says it is the I Am, a powerful guided meditation with Suzanne Giesemann.
Yeah, that's the title, and it will come up as also Find Freedom as You Find God Within. You type those exact words. There's the screenshot of it right there. The title is I Am, a powerful guided meditation, but the title on the thumbnail is Find Freedom as You Find God Within. And that's your true nature. That's what we're getting you to experience. So actually close your eyes, everybody. When I say at that point, let's do it. Close your eyes and follow the guidance that's directly from Spirit. Okay?
Okay, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
You're welcome.
We have reached the end of the hour. We might have time for another question. I don't know what the question would be, if you're interested.
Well, I think that is the most powerful way to end it, Adam, because the most important question any of you can ask is, who am I? As you come to know yourself as the flow of consciousness itself, then you realize why you can connect with loved ones who have passed, why you can connect with guides, why the answers you need are right here. Because in those moments when you train yourself to set the story aside and just be, even for the briefest moment, whatever the underlying intention that's most helpful to you at this time will be achieved and will pop into awareness. So coming to know I am without a story, and then using your intention within the story to merge with that state, that's when the wondrous things really happen. So just enjoy the dance.
Well, I know I speak for everybody that's on the call. There's more than 170 people. To just thank you for your generosity, your authenticity, and your big heart. So thank you so much, Suzanne.
And thank you, Adam, and everybody behind the scenes too, Jim and Garth, everybody, Timothy, for making this happen, and all of you for being in this group with us. All of you contribute beautiful energy to it. So bless you.
Bless you.